sure you can. Let's see. How would I go about? See, I'm drifting off, but how would I go about that? Since I mentioned it, and I don't know if I'll remember it again. All right. It all goes down to your levels. So the first thing you would have to do, literally, is desaturate. Okay, turn your picture into kind of different, and give it vibrance. All right, and then, gosh, it's so much harder to do it in here than it is to do it in Photoshop. I recently downloaded GIMP because I haven't worked on things in a while, so I might have had to spend $10 a month to work on things. I'll practice some GIMP, and it's always good to know a new program. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm kind of boosting the exposure. I could take it to that. No. Put your blacks this way, your highlights this way. Take your shadows out. I put my shadows back in. Thinking the picture looked cool. Gosh, it's so much easier. Seeing, here's what you're trying to do. You're trying to boost all of your black stuff, and then you're trying to boost all of your white stuff at the same time. And what happens is all your middle stuff just kind of just gets blown out of the window. So when you do that, it's so much easier. Like I said, it's so much easier. And see, look how cool that is. That is pretty cool. But I desaturated, and if I desaturate all the way like that, if I took yellow, would I be able to see the bars better? I don't really need to. Anyway, I tried. I'm sorry, guys. I really did. To make it into line art, it's so much easier if you're dealing with a portrait. If you're dealing with it in Photoshop, all you have to do is change your levels and desaturate, change your levels, and it boom, bam, bam, boom. You've taken your picture and you've changed it into line art, and you could color it if you wished. Um, I don't know. I could say that I could do some really cool stuff, but nowhere on the level of what Jasmine can do. And I call her that because that is the name that I hear. And if you want to know exactly who that is, you go to Morbid Dinosaur, and that is her ace boon dreamy. Those two are hilarious together. They've got jokes. They're fun to watch. They're fun to listen to. Uh, every now and again, you might even hear me make side comments coming out of the blue because I can hear them, and they're pretty awesome. They're a lot of fun. Now, all right. So what I did is I took the camera and I was after this. I went but sure, by all means, grab the clarity key and make them look like a friggin' monster if that's what you want to do. But if you're trying to make someone look good in a portrait, you really are gonna want to just not use the clarity key too much. That's an FYI, just to let you know. I've used it. I play with it. I've tried it, and a lot tree, and I took the picture because there was a gap. The picture that I really liked out of it, I want to say, is it this one? Yeah, okay. So I looked into the tree, and there was this little bitty plant down in the groove. It was kind of funky cool looking. So I most definitely was like, oh man, I want to get a picture of that. So I'm like up on my tippy toes because I'm short. I'm up on my tippy toes and I'm taking pictures, and I'm like, oh man, this is groovy. It's like a little fairy thing. Yes, I believe in fairies. I do, I do, I do. And it was just really cool. Unfortunately, even though I could see it and it was really cool. See this monster right here? He hates me. He's in my way. Um, if you go out taking photography, you go out into nature, take a machete. A lot of people are like, why a machete? Because a machete's big. Okay. Also take a knife. Also have some gloves. Because things like this will get in your way. Even if I couldn't really see up there, I kind of stuck my camera up there. If I wish I had reached up here and grabbed this out, but I didn't. So it's not as pretty as it could have been. Let's see. There's a not. I can't even say that's a better shot. This is a better shot because I have more clarity on the plants. See how you can even see the little fuzzies on the thing, the little twirlies right here. Um, and you know, here's the thing. What if I cropped it? What if I cropped it to here? Well, that's not going to work because you have the little fairies. Ideally, it should be either here or here. Down here, not so much. Even if I pull it up, it still is not as cool as it could be, as you can see. So, that's what I learned from this picture. One, quit being lazy, reach up there and pull crap out of your picture. Yes, you can absolutely move things out of your way. Do not feel that you cannot. Do not listen to people who say you cannot. Tell them to shut up and do what you have to do. Okay, moving on. Comic-Con pictures. Comic-Con. Yes, I went to the Comic-Con. And this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so right about then, I was really, really, really into messing around with my clarity key. You see how he looks almost alien. But a lot of it too is I was trying to bring him back. And I should not have. You see how pretty his little arms are? Look at his little arms. Here's pretty. There's a whole lot more that can be done with this. And believe you me, there really is. Because I was looking at some stuff yesterday. And last night. And if I decided to make this into the portrait, one of the first things I would probably do is do a little bit of sharpening, but not a lot, because I was taking this in a dim room. Um, I wasn't using manual, and I will tell you why. When we got into this space, at first you would think that all of the lighting is the same, but it is not. Over here, super bright light, kind of. It beamed down. And the thing about light beaming down is that it puts shadows up underneath the face. Over here, in some of the fringe areas that didn't have the lights beaming straight down, you would have these kind of spaces of darkness. So you're really in an iffy kind of situation. And this is one of those things where I was going to let the camera just go ahead and be smarter than me, because I was more after getting a mic isn't working. I have no idea. But I'll look into that. Okay. Okay. Nice to see you while I go and play with my mic. It was working before. Now what happened? Let's see, let's see, let's see. All right. So that looks good. Mm-hmm. La la la. La 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 la. La 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 la. And it said that it was on. Hello. Hello, microphone. Hi there. Nice to see. Nice to see you. Yay, yay. Okay, so it says that it's on right now, and it's not, and I don't know why. That's odd. That is very odd. See, this is what I thought. I don't know why. Yeah, yeah, let me go back to what I was doing. Uh, hmm. This is great. This is wonderful. I'm going to ask my son to come here. There we are. I'm gonna go back to. I don't even have music on. Like neither one. No music. No nothing. Maybe I have to turn the player off. Can you hear me now? Am I there? Can you hear me? I don't know. I have no idea. Chris sent you back to tell you that my microphone's not working?
Microphone not working?
It is not working. It says that it's working, but it's lying.
Okay.
Hi, Chris. Do you want me to unplug my headphones? Nope, you want to just pause it right there? Oh, it's super live now. It's saying that it's working.
Yep. Just remember to be more quiet.
Now my music's on. You can turn it off. Just push.
Like this.
Exit out the page. Oh my god, it's still playing.
Can you hear it? You should be able to hear us as an echo. Do you hear a ding?
Music's still playing.
What do you have playing your music? Why do you get it open?
stopped it. How'd you do that?
Must be playing back on YouTube. Yeah. You have it playing in browser somehow.
Okay, so let me go back to free music and then turn it off. His name Sonar. Sonar. Free Music Archive. Sonar. I like this guy a lot. Just letting you know. Alright. So I have stopped it and I should be talking now. I don't know if you guys can hear me now. Maybe you can. Let me turn on my Twitch so I can see. Twitch. Chat is hidden. Show chat. Welcome to the chat room. Let's see if it's back. I don't know if you can hear me. Hello. Do I type in hello? No, I just speak. I just say, hey, how you doing? How's life? What's going on? All right. All right, so there's my Twitch chat room up. And let that down. And this is up. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna have to make my Lightroom a little smaller. All right. Hopefully it's working now. I don't know for sure. I'm gonna go back to doing what I was doing. Talking about what I was talking about. So I went to the con. This is the one that's in North Carolina. We had some pretty cool, groovy looking folks. I hunt down the Joker frequently. I think she was Harley. Yeah. This is right when I got my 50 millimeter. And I got some okay shots, you know. They're all right. They're okay. I think did I work on this one, or is this just straight out of the camera like that? Oh no, I blew up the fucking, excuse me, so sorry. I blew up the contrast ridiculously so. I do that periodically to see what I can see. Like, for instance, would it look better if I did this? Would it look better if I did that? And not to mention, these are costumes, and these are not what you would necessarily call real people. They are real people, but hey. So, there was some pretty cool stuff, you know. There were some pretty cool guys. I got, this is a picture of a little girl kissing her daddy. I thought it was adorable, because she was adorable. We do this, the Sugar Skull, every year at Halloween. We love it. Everybody else is usually dressed as zombies. These guys were, of course, Ghostbusters. As you can see, we had a lot of fun. You should always go to the con. I'm a firm believer. Take your children, indoctrinate them into the world of the geek, the nerd, the happy camper, because it's a lot of fun. See? It's just good, wholesome fun. This girl, all right. Let me show you these shoes. How freaking awesome this was. So yeah, she carved these things out. She had some boots, and then she took off the heel. Then she carved out the front parts on wood, with wood, and she put stockings over the boots. And this is how she made this right here. She did it on her own, and I was like, that is creative. Surely creative. Okay. My youngest daughter is a huge fan of Tyler, and I'm an evil mom. I'm not gonna lie, I am. And I saw him up in a window way up, and she was like, oh, "It's Tyler," and I was like, "Well, say hi, Tyler." And she was like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." And I'm like, "Why? What are they gonna do? Kick you out?" So she was like, "I'm not gonna do that." And I was like, "Oh, I got you." So I screamed, "Hi, Tyler. Hi." And I'm waving. It's like, "Oh, my daughter loves you." Right? She ghosted, dude. She totally disappeared into the crowd. It's great. It's one of those great mommy moments. I have many of them. Who are these people? I know who they are. I know you know who they are. Well, you have to be of a certain age, but it was awesome. I was just like, "Please take a picture together," and they did. They were very nice about the whole thing. I did, I do get some pretty cool stuff. People, I got these two guys together. This is like the happy and the sad. It was amazing. No fear. Do you have a good time? Now, if I can remember correctly, yes. All right. So, I don't know who she was as a character. I don't know who she was. This girl did, though. And when she saw her, she literally, this must have been her first con, she went crazy. And she was like, "Oh my God, I love you. I love you. Can I get a hug?" And she had tears in her eyes. And I was like, oh, that is adorable. So much. The girl who was dressed as the character was shocked and happy and excited that she was recognized. And that is what the con is about. That is what the con is about. Come out, go all out, do a crazy, awesome, badass costume, a funky costume. It doesn't matter. Come in, have a good time. I tell people all the time, go to cons. You read comic books, dude. These people are at the cons. Go meet this guy. This right here. This was great. Go meet these people. Go say hi. Go say hi to the artists. Give them some love, please. This guy, Luffy. He was funny. Don't be afraid. This man right here, he was awesome. I loved his whole steampunk thing. Now, let me tell you what was cool about it. And I should have gotten a bigger picture, but he was being nice letting me get this one. So he was in a wheelchair that he had ganked up to look very steampunky, as you can see with the hat and the goggles. And it was pretty cool. I have obviously played with these because there's so many different ways that this could go. As you can see with the pictures that I'm showing you on this side, I'm thinking that here was my thing. Was it supposed to be Hermione Granger and Dumbledore? But then I was like, nah. He looks more like Gandalf to me because of the staff, and his robes. He would be Gandalf the Grey. That's what he looked like to me. I don't know who she was supposed to be, but she looks like one of the people who run around with Doctor Who. I could be wrong, but that's who she looks like to me. And okay, I took a picture of this baby because this was the smilingest baby, guys. I mean, this kid. And he had this comb over. He was killing it. I thought he was adorable. You, I can't say enough. You have to go. There's so much to see. There's so many people to see. So much work to look at. We're talking about some really amazing work like this guy right here. He is really good. Like, his work was gorgeous. You would think that I would have gotten all these names. I did not. There. Remember when I just told you I was screaming at Tyler? Proof in fact, this is the moment that it happened. And my daughter disappeared on me, and I didn't see her for a good 10 minutes. Because she literally just moved out. This lady made this whole costume like it was Disney worthy. You should have seen it. And I've been to cons, and I've seen some pretty badass costumes. Like, these people are dedicated. I am not dedicated like that. So, I will take a sip of my coffee, and then I will tell you about switching over my camera lens. So, I was taking pictures with my lens, and I did not have on my... Okay, I would have needed a much wider millimeter lens. These are my children, 3 of them out of 6. And they were like, you need to just stop taking pictures of us before we kill you. So I wanted to see more of it. And then I thought about it, and I was like, I wonder what this would all start looking like. Of course, I had to get this guy because he was just rocking that shit. This is before the movie, guys. This is just, when Deadpool was cool ass Deadpool. So, like I said, I pulled out my, good Lord, I'm so busy looking at Deadpool, I forgot the name of my lens. It's the same lens that's on the back of your camera, which is why you can get wide angle shots. And I wanted to see what would happen, how it would change the perspective of the pictures. Would it make them more dynamic? Would it make them more fun? Sometimes it would quail, man. Come on, it's Doug. If you guys don't know this, you should be ashamed of yourselves. And I think she was supposed to be the little boy that has the dog on Adventure Time. I know, shame on me. The only thing I know about Adventure Time is baking pancakes. Making bacon pancakes because I like bacon. So I learned the song. And then somebody mixed that with friggin' Alicia Keys, and it was rocking, and I was like, oh, that's what's up. So anyway, I pulled out I am just losing my lens. I can't think of the name of it. What is this lens? Someone tell me. I don't know. Anyway, put on a different lens. And really magical things kind of started happening. I was like, well, that's starting to change the perspective of everything. And I mean everything. I tried it. I leaned up against things. I bent over. I wanted you to see I wanted people to see the size and the scale of what was going on at this con. Now, I've been to other cons. I've been to the con in San Diego. We're talking way back. Duval Stowers was my friend, and he was the one to tell me to go to this thing because he was an artist there, featured, and it was amazing. But we are talking like 30 years ago. the very first con I could say that I went to was for Robotech. That tells you how far back I go, and it was pretty interesting. This guy, he understood. You know, we were taking pictures, and so I was like, oh, so let's get your hand because he built this and he got it going on. Um, I thought that this was really cute. I just I had to get a picture of her because I thought it was cute. This guy, he was killing it. I think he's the question. I don't know who he was supposed to be, but for some reason my mind went SpongeBob. Now I think he's supposed to be. There's a character on SpongeBob that's a really old superhero, and he had a sidekick, and I think he's the sidekick to the superhero on SpongeBob, but I could be wrong. I think she's supposed to be Raven. I could be wrong again. Um, I want to say she was like a female Joker because that's what she looked like to me, you know. But I again, you know, I. All right, so this is what we were working on with the Doctor Who's. They had the sonic screwdriver, and I got four of them to do it. But I think that the sonic screwdriver would have had to have been closer, like this, for it to really, for you to really be able to see it, really get the effect of what I was trying to do with that. It's another Luffy. How could you not like it? My daughter loves that. All right, so as we were leaving, I went out and I started taking pictures out here. And we're talking about a lot of color. You could, because of how they had the lines on the floor, look, see these lines on the floor, excuse me, and these lines up here, and these lines right here, and that, and all of that, and it gives you this very dynamic perspective that you can work with. So I used that, and I got some really, really interesting pictures. If people really could not necessarily see what I was doing, I would show them, but they didn't know how it was going to look in the end. And then I just walked around and I just took these pictures. Some came out better than others. You know, some of them just. I wonder where he got this from, because there was a guy that was in Chicago. He had one on too. And he was walking down the street, just walking down the street with it, just casually, like, yeah, you know. And I don't know if that's really the guy, but yeah, he was doing what he was doing. This thing right here, dudes, this was a backpack. So I don't know if she sewed this from scratch, but this was pretty awesome. Okay, and I was like, girl, you need to sell that thing. You need to make those, because I know people who will buy them. Probably one of my favorite pictures out of everything that I took was this. I don't know what to tell you. It just was just very cute. I had a lot of fun with it. Now that I know what I know, I might have changed the way this person was standing to get what I wanted out of the picture better. I have a better understanding of the lens. Don't be afraid to do these things. Don't be afraid to take these pictures and try different lenses and then stick them into Lightroom and play around with them. I do this a lot. You know, I will take things to the extreme and see if there's anything out of all of it that I like. You know, what pictures are better than others, what pictures are more dynamic, what pictures are more startling, what pictures are more startling, what pictures are startling. And I thought that was clever. So you go and you do these things, and Raleigh doesn't really have a lot of tall buildings. This is not like when we go further down into my deep dark things, and you know, I see stuff like oh, she was kind enough to, she was Hufflepuff, that's my peoples. She was kind enough to let me do it. All right, so my daughter lived right next to this temple, and Swadhiha, yeah, these people are from Thailand. You can tell because it's a Buddhist temple, but you can tell by a lot of the figures that are on there. We met one of the artists. I do have some of his work and some of the photographs that I've taken, and he is on my Facebook. But I just wanted to get pictures of this because I was just like, well, that's elaborate as hell. Pretty cool. Flowers. Well, flowers are... These flowers were taken with 50 millimeter, if I remember correctly. I think it's like 50, 105. It's the one that I normally have on my camera. Let me pull it out so that you can see it. Is it 50, 150, 50 something? It's, I don't think I used my telephoto lens. Let me see. According to Lightroom, I took that at 105 millimeters. So I want to say it was this lens. I'm pretty sure that it was. Yes, it was this one, my 18 to 105. Why? Because I could take 50 millimeter shots. There it is. I have terrible lighting in here, I know, but I just wanted you to see the lens. So I use that lens a lot because that is a really good traveling lens. Telephoto lenses are, if you are going to something like the racetrack or an event and you're far away and you're trying to zoom in on some of the action that's going on down around you, that's when you want to pull out your telephoto lens. They're not necessarily very good for taking pictures of things like, I'm sure you can use them with architecture, but it's not going to be what you think it is. This is if you have to be going after a very definitive look to do that, to pull that off. So, flowers are nice. All right, so I'm going to brighten that up. And I'll wait on the contrast. Let's just make these. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever spoken to you guys about bokeh. Korean dramas, the newer ones, not necessarily the older ones, the newer ones, these people are masters of bokeh. Bokeh is, see the fuzzy, the little circles in the background, those are the unfocused areas of something. And when you watch Korean dramas, these guys, the things that they can do, it's just unbelievable. Now, here's what I'm talking about. All right. So, I made it brighter looking. That's nice. You know, if I really wanted to, I just grab the whites and just da-da-da-da. All right. So, I did that. But I would have to bring in a little bit more contrast to get color. then I'd probably have to come down here to put some of that green back in. Because if you look in the middle of these little flowers, see the little green, like this guy right here. See this little guy right here? Alright, so looking at this little guy right here, let's find a green that looks organic. And that'd probably be about right there. And then again, let's add a little bit of some. Don't be afraid to make something a little darker. Please don't. But I can't see. Okay, do you see your histogram up here? All right, your histogram tells you what's going on in your picture. All right, my midtones are garbage, obviously, because in this picture they're like way low. I have highs and I have, lows, my blacks, and I have brights and darks, but my midtones, terrible, terrible, terrible. I could bring them back. I could just continuously go through and dig through and find things that I like. I am not what you would call a very disciplined photographer. I'm getting better at it. I am. Over time, you really don't have much of a choice. Okay, so I pull this back out. Let's pull it back out. And you're like, that's a pretty picture. It's really not. And I will show you why. This is in the dead center of the picture. What would look better is if, let's see. Let's pull it. Let's fix this some. If this were here. And let's bring this down some. You know what? Do I have my aspect ratio unlocked? Let's lock that. Okay, let's make it easy on me. All right. So I have this. And now it looks better because your eye actually has to travel like, oh, oh. Okay, so you're looking and you go from this corner, you go up and you go over here. You can see that and it looks better. I had to learn these things. It took a while. This has leading lines, thank God. So it'd probably be a whole lot easier for me to work with and make the picture pretty. Let me make my whites white, and I'm not so much working on blacks, but my shadows, I have to have them in there. And I need to, let's go back down here again and look at my green, my organic green. So again, let's find a spot. That's a good spot. So now let's see. That does not look real, guys. That does not look real. Now, here's the thing. Suppose I did do that. All right, I would have to go here, my tone curve, put a point in about right there. Let's just do that. Can we put in a tone point? What am I doing wrong? Because what I want to do is I need to lift my blacks, but it's like, why are you not letting me do it? You're gonna make me say nasty things on the air, and then people will say, this lady is off the charts. I'm able to bend it, but not what I want. And that green still looks terrible. That green still looks terrible. I might have to go as far as to, instead of using that, let me use my mouse. Something must be locked. Is something locked? Hmm. Oh, now I've done it. Nah. Ah, that's what I was looking for. All right. So maybe 2-3 years ago, the film look was really big. And let's go over here. And people were like really, 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 really doing this a lot. So what you were getting is in a lot of wedding pictures, you were getting this look right here. See how it's all, you flattened your blacks, so it's all like, yay, that's wonderful, that's magnificent, and still the green looks horrible. So let's go back down to our green, and let's just make it back to where it's not Abby normal. It looks like normal green. And there we go. It looks better. But to me, when you flatten your blacks on some things, it'll make it look dirty, but that's, to some people, that's just, that's really the look that they're going for. So I'm like, I guess so. What am I going to say? But again, now look, that looks better, but not great, because where's my focus? Again, in the middle. When it should be, like I said, it should be like here, or it should have been here. Actually, it should have been here like that. And it would have looked better. Ta-da. Because that's how it works. So let's see. I didn't even look. Oh, wow. Well, guys, it's almost over. It's 10:59, and I will come back another time and critique my work and play in Lightroom and show you not to be afraid, because everything that I've done, like this picture right here, reset. Everything that I've done. You're like, but will I remember? Even if you don't remember, man, do not be afraid to go back and do it over. Do it over. Do it till you get it right. Do it till you like it. Do it till you're, you blow your own mind. This is New York. Have fun with it. And when we come back, I will go back over everything that I have just done. This is a wedding. Actually, and it's really funny because this wedding was in Martha Stewart. I'll have to show you guys that. All right, guys. So that's another wedding. I take pictures, and that's my dog, Mac. I loved you, Mac. R.I.P. But like I said, you can't be afraid to try. You can't be afraid to change it. You can't be afraid to play with it. Please, to have no fear. Just do it and enjoy yourself. Have fun with it. Because if you're not having fun with it, then then it's work. And so you're gonna have to work. You have to go to work every day. That's Morbid Dinosaur right there. If you guys don't know a profile, let me let you know. All right, guys. Thank you very much for spending time. Party on.